Welcome to Young Africa Life Skills lesson. My name is Karen. Due to COVID-19, we've not been able to meet to proceed with our sessions. So today we are going to be using this platform to have one of the sessions. Before we do so, may we please just go and get somewhere to write on and come back. Welcome back. Today we are learning on the topic preventing domestic violence. Let us hear our affirmation from Judith Bedwick. She highlights that real confidence comes from accepting your strengths and limitations. Judith is simply saying that you've got to learn to appreciate yourself instead of waiting for other people to do so. You've also got to be aware of your limitations. What are the objectives of this session? In this session, you learn on the causes of domestic violence in your country. You learn on ways of preventing domestic violence in your home and community. You also learn of the various options for victims of domestic violence. Before we proceed, may you please watch this video.
Karibu amka. Wewe si amka, niwe naogeresha unisikii? Kazi yako ni kulalala huko, hakuna kitu kingine unajua kufanya. Wewe nakwambia amke wewe. Nini nakulisha sasa hiyo ukiulizwa? Nakwambia hebu nipatie chakula, niko na njaa.
Hakuna chakula. Hakuna food.
Ati?
Hakuna food, gas ilisha na hakuna unga.
Wewe kuna kitu unataka kwa hii nyumba? Wewe kazi yako ushileta kitu huko ama ni kuongea tu? Kazi yako hapa ni kuongea manipa wewe, kuna kitu unataka kwa hii nyumba? Nakuuliza, kitu unataka huko wewe? Kitu unataka huko? Kuna kitu unataka huko ama kazi yako ni kukimbia tu? Hebu kitu unataka hii nyumba? Umeshoka kitu. Hebu toka kwa hiyo bafu. Sifungue wewe, Kwa nini ufungue mlango? Toka. Unasikia?
Wewe gonga nikona mali.
Unataka kujua nini? Toka. Toka kwangu, kwa toka kwangu. Kwangu utatoka. Nakwambia kwangu utatoka. Unasikia? Nakwambia kwangu utatoka. Nakwambia utatoka.
Did you see the video? How was it? Of course, I know it was terrifying. However, most women are in such similar circumstances. According to the United Nations on Drugs and Crime 2018, 1 out of 3 women globally are in such similar circumstances, and it is mostly common in Africa. Though men are also victims of homicide and domestic violence, women are more prone to it. And in sub-Saharan Africa, 22.8 women reported having faced physical or sexual violence over 12-month period. In Zimbabwe, according to the United Nations Family Planning Association in 2016, 1 out of 4 women faced physical violence and 1 out of 3 women faced sexual violence. According to World Health Organization in 2020, there has also been an increase in domestic violence because people are spending a lot of time together. What is domestic violence? According to UNICEF 2020, domestic violence is violence perpetrated by an intimate partner or other family members. It is normally common amongst intimate partners. It can be a parent, husband, a former boyfriend or former girlfriend. It can be violent against a family member such as a parent, sibling, or any relatives. Under domestic violence are various forms of abuse. We've got emotional abuse, physical abuse, psychological, and economic abuse. Under physical abuse are such things as beating, punching, kicking, burning. And under economic abuse are such things as refusal to contribute funds in the family, denying a wife an opportunity to go to work just because the husband is jealous, or total control over all the resources. Under sexual abuse is forced sex, forcing one to watch pornography. An adult may force a child to touch their private parts or to see pornography. Under psychological abuse is such things as confinement of a person at home. This is mostly intended to intimidate a person. In such circumstances, a person may threaten one even to destroy their property or even to harm their children. There are various factors that perpetuate domestic abuse, such as patriarchy and culture. Patriarchy is the belief that a woman is inferior to a man. This is mostly supported by culture. A home is seen as a private domain where men has got total control. Therefore, they can beat or scold their wife whenever they feel like, just because they paid bride price. This is also supported by religion, just because the Bible says that a woman is supposed to be submissive to their husband, or a man is the head of the household. Some men or some people misinterpret these scriptures. Even when she goes to tell the pastor that their partner is beating them, their pastor tells them that they are supposed to enjoy it, because the Bible says that they should submit to their husbands. There are various factors that perpetuate violence. When women lack education, they tend to depend on their husbands. Without education, they are not able to access employment. They do not even have the skills. Without education, they are not aware of the various policies and legal issues that protect them. Therefore, they continue to be abused by their husbands. Domestic violence does not only occur at homes, it also occurs at such places as schools, workplace, and it can even occur during a death rape. There are several signs of domestic violence, such as unexplained injuries, injuries in the various stages of healing, or a person may present late at the hospital. How can you assist victims of domestic violence? Be sure that you support these people. Do not judge them. If a person is unwilling to confide in you, do not be quick to judge them and do not force them to do so. They may be afraid to do so. The person who is violating, they might be a breadwinner. Therefore, they are afraid that if this person is arrested, no one will be able to take care of the family. However, if they are willing, give them an ear. Be a resource for this person. Tell them of various organizations such as Musasa Project who are able to assist them. It's now time for an activity. I want you to discuss with your siblings or any of your family members how you can protect yourself from sexual violence during a date. Also discuss with them how sexual or physical violence is likely to affect your education, your health, and your future employment, and come back. Welcome back. Did you discuss on the activity that I gave you? We now want to discuss on the impact of domestic violence. Domestic violence affects women psychologically. Women who are physically abused tend to have mental problems. If they are pregnant, they are likely to suffer a miscarriage. They may give birth to a child who has got low birth weight. Domestic violence also affects children. Children who grow in environments with domestic violence are also likely to abuse other people. They will also in turn abuse their families in future. Domestic violence also affects the income of the family because resources are diverted to seeking health care services after hurting each other during the abuse. There are various methods of dealing with a violent partner. You should be calm. Try as much as possible to avoid triggering your partner. Also, practice escape plans. Come up with a code word which you can say, which your neighbors or family members understand that you are in trouble. We now want to discuss on how to prevent domestic violence in your community and home. Let us first start by discussing how you can protect yourself from domestic violence during a date. You should agree with your partner on your limits. Try to control yourself and try to avoid drinking alcohol during a date. Avoid secluded places. Inform anyone you are close to on where you will be going during a date. Give them their contact and make sure that your number is reachable. When you are walking around your community, use roads that you are aware of. Avoid secluded places. And also, educate your community about the implications of domestic violence. Support organizations that are against domestic violence. We have now come to the end of the session. What have you learned from this session? How are you going to use this to prevent domestic violence in your home and your community? Before we go, may you please recite this affirmation with me. Nobody deserves to be violated. I do not deserve to be violated. I do not violate. If you want to share anything with us, just get hold of us. Just share your thoughts, your views, comments, or even suggestions. Thank you. See you soon.